Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum Nazreen. You are watching Research Excellence with Professor Dr. Ahmad Bilal at UOS TV. Today we are blessed that we have a special guest with us, Professor Dr. Rehman. He is Head of Translational Research in University of Central Lancashire, as well as he is founder of Interdisciplinary Research Center at University of Sargodha. Sir, how are you?
I'm fine, Dr. Sir. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity and inviting me to have this discussion.
Great. Sir, you are expert of biomaterials and regenerative medicine, and the world knows you very well. You're very famous, mashallah. We usually see whenever our people, our engineers, our scientists, they go abroad, they usually are struck with their countries. But what are the things that attract you towards Pakistan, that you are very emotional for Pakistan and to serve the nation of Pakistan?
डॉक्टर साहब, इस वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन. एक चीज़ याद रखें, मैं हमेशा एक स्लोगन यूज़ करता हूँ कि पाकिस्तान है तो हम हैं, ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है. और 23 इयर्स तक मैंने यहाँ पे स्टडी की, मैंने मास्टर्स यहाँ पे किया. सो आई एम alumni of University of the Punjab, and then I went abroad to do my PhD. And it's always the back of my mind that I owe to my nation. My nation had a lot of investment in me until the age of 23. So whenever I do research, I keep in mind where my roots are. And it is crucial. Everybody should know where their roots are. You flourish if your roots are strong. And if you keep your roots where you belong to, you will be flourishing on all directions. So alhamdulillah, when I went there, I kept links with my teachers in here, with my professors in the university. And that was one of my dream and desire, that when I will establish something in UK, I will mirror that in Pakistan. And that's the reason the research, the teaching element, I try my best to come back and give it back to the nation what I've learned over the years.
Great, great. Dr. You are the founder of Interdisciplinary Research Center in Biomaterials. What actually forced you to start this, and what are the main reasons, main focus to establish this center in Pakistan?
It'll be a bit slightly lengthy answer, so bear with me. IRC Interdisciplinary Research Center in Biomedical Materials was established in Queen Mary, University of London. That was the first one in the world. And they were looking for one targeted, focused question to find a material for bone replacement. So I was lucky enough that I finished my PhD during that time, and this center was formed, and I was lucky to work with people who pioneered that subject, Professor Bonfield, Professor Larry Henge, and I did a lot of work with them on finding the bone materials. During that research, I was the first one in the world to give the chemical structural properties of the bone through spectroscopy. If you still look in the literature, some of my papers on bone, they're cited very highly. Some of my papers are cited on bone more than 1,000 times. So that specific center was, can we develop a material which can repair bone, regenerate bone? So first we're looking for how we can repair the bone. So we came with the material called Hypex, which was a combination of a polymer and a ceramic. For the viewers, bone is a composite material. And I always use the phrase, nature does it beautifully. The way nature does it, we need to mimic those properties. So we tried our best to mimic those properties, how we can do it. And that research needs to taken forward and learning from the nature, how their physical properties are, how their biological properties are, and how their chemical structure is formed. If you combine them together, you can get an artificial bone. So we could develop that Hypex material there, and there was a time that in our lab from the university, we were covering 85% of the world market for ear implants. So when I learned that one, I'm sure everybody remembers when the earthquake happened, and more than 80,000 lives were lost. And at that time, I used to come to Pakistan very often. I remember when the relief efforts were going on, and I was talking to some clinicians, they mentioned, we have to amputate so many limbs because we didn't have any materials to repair them. And I felt a bit guilty that time, that I know something which can be helpful for the nation, but I haven't really done it. So then at that time, there was a National Disaster Management Conference held at the National Convention Center in Islamabad. So I was invited as a key speaker, and I gave them a framework, what needs to be done, God forbid, if the calamity strikes us again, that we are ready for that. We have got the materials for repair. So I started my efforts. Can we actually get the materials for our own nation? So I established this IRC in biomedical material, exactly mirror imaging, the one which was in Queen Mary. So that was the main focus. Why we did it? When the urgency becomes needs of the hour, then everybody needs to get together. And as a nation, we did get together in the relief efforts. Either was research, either we need to learn new things. And that, I want to say, that inspired me. That actually forced me, and I felt duty-bound that I have to do something to help my own nation at the time of the need.
Great. I personally visited IRCBM. It's a really great lab facilities, and the greatest persons you hired and trained in those labs. What do you feel that there are a lot of success stories I have personally seen there. So, but what are the main success stories where you proud in?
You will be surprised when people say that the products, that's the success story. To me, the success story is totally different. I think the biggest success to me is that we have developed a research culture there, and which is second to none. We have developed the human resource who have gone all over the world, and they're serving everywhere. There are researchers who are working in the center at present who are international leaders now in their field. To me, that is the real success. In addition, yes, we have got product. We started with a targeted focus of bone replacement. We got materials for heart tissue replacement. We got materials for skin regeneration. We got materials for soft tissues. And you'll be surprised that we have actually found a cure which can regenerate the hair growth. So one of our colleagues from there is actually talking to a big pharma company at present to take that work forward. So, from that center you can see, we started with bone replacement, and now this is expanding. We're developing technologies, and they are going to be, I would say, the fruit which we can collect it now. And again, because the research culture was there, it flourished. And I haven't done any magic. All I did, I gave them the ownerships. I said to them, research is not a 9-to-5 job. Research is a 24 hours. You breathe research. You live on research. And you sleep with research. So if you do that, then you can really develop things. You need to have a dialogue. Very often my colleagues, my friends, they ask in Pakistan, yaar tu ki karna hai, tera center bada acha kam karda hai. I never use a magic stick. I just go and discuss with them and I say, take ownership. You're the blessed people sitting here, you got all the facilities. And one thing we need to remember, people say there are no facilities in Pakistan. Let me tell you, I worked at Queen Mary University of London for 23 years. I worked at the University of Sheffield for about 9 years. Lancaster University 4 years. University of Central Lancashire, I'm there for about nearly 2.5 years now. And I'm proud to say the facilities we have in the IRCBM in Lahore, they're better than all of them combined together.
Great.
So we can't say that we can't do research because there are no facilities. Everybody has got the facility. We must have the desire to do research.
No doubt, no doubt. I have seen that how passionately the people are engaged in those labs. And I'm the eyewitness for that. So it's a success story you've already done, and now you're going to start the new journey. IRCU at University of Sargodha. So in this new journey or new initiative with more passion, with more emotions. So what's unique you are going to start here? Mashallah, it's a big ceremony held yesterday with Chairman Higher Education Commission and Vice Chancellors from 25 universities. They came and you proudly launched this center in University of Sargodha, and you are going to connect all universities of Pakistan to do something for the betterment of the community, for the poor people, or especially for our women. So what's the unique you think that you are going to do, what you cannot achieve in IRCBM?
Very interesting question. एक बड़ा खूबसूरत शेर है, मुझे बड़ा पसंद है. मैं जब स्टूडेंट था तो पाकिस्तान स्टील मिल की रिसेप्शन के ऊपर लिखा होता था. And that became more or less motto of my life. उस पर लिखा हुआ था अल्लामा इकबाल का शेर कि नशेमन पर नशेमन इस तरह तामीर करता जा कि बिजली गिरते गिरते आप ही बेजार हो जाए. हमारा काम है बिल्ड करना, और उस पे कहते हैं ना कि आप बीज भी जब डालते हैं तो उसके बाद अल्लाह पे छोड़ दें. ठीक है, वो कादर मुतलक है, हर काम करता है. तो मैं यही करता हूँ कि मैं वो सीड डाल देता हूँ और 2 नफल पढ़ के अल्लाह से दुआ मांग लेता हूँ और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह कामयाबी आ जाती है. Coming back to your specific question, IRCBM was for a bone replacement material. One thing I always say, whenever you have to start with a targeted goal. And the targeted goal must be, are you going to do this research to reinvent the wheel, or you're going to do this research for the benefit of the people? At present, at my stage of my career, I'm really interested in, can I actually improve the quality of life of millions? Can I actually do something which can save millions of lives? If I can do that, and then when I go and meet my creator, and I will say, Alhamdulillah, I've done something which I knew and passed it on, और वो सदका जारी इंशाल्लाह चलता रहेगा. Why IRC in One Health? It was one of my dream. मैं कहता था कि to lot of my friends, एक लास्ट इनिंग्स खेलनी है, और वो लास्ट इनिंग्स जो है वो T20 नहीं होगी, वनडे नहीं होगी, वो टेस्ट मैच होगा. लेकिन उस टेस्ट मैच में we need to pick up what our regional problems are, because the research shouldn't be fitting to the people shouldn't be fitting to the research. It should be coming together and benefiting from each other. It's really crucial. So if you look at it in this region, for example, it's a is an area where a lot of citrus is there. There is a lot of poultry farms are there, environmental issues, and human health. I've been told there is a breast cancer really spreading like anything in this area. And this is a unique problem in this area. If we address this, yes, we have benefited to our people in the region. Why I asked that we need to create a network of the universities. I asked each vice chancellor who attended the conference yesterday that we need to connect together for a targeted goal. And that targeted goal must be to improve the quality of life of those people in the region, educate them for their welfare. And alhamdulillah, I was glad that they all took the ownership and they want to work together. I asked them to give one person from your institute as a focal person to identify your regional problems, and we will find the solution for those problems together. So, inshallah, when they will identify their regional problem, we'll work with them. We don't want to work at them, we want to work with them to find the solutions. So, in this area, I know what the problems are. So I'm starting with two things, the main focus. Early detection and diagnosis of number one, on the cancer, and the number two, the antimicrobial resistance. Those are the two things which are going to be really crucial. Antimicrobial research is really so crucial in the area. The use of antibiotics in Pakistan, shall I say the misuse of antibiotics in Pakistan, is alarming. We are sleepwalking into a nightmare. If you just do a rough calculation, if we carry on like that, I think by 2030 or 2035, in 10 years' time, the antimicrobial problem will be so huge, the antibiotics will be not sensitive anymore. So we need to have a government policy, a strategic, managing the entire thing, that you control the use of antibiotics, not only in the human, but in the poultry farms. That's where the problem's initiating from. So if we don't do that, there's going to be a huge problem. So early detection and diagnosis will improve the prediction and prognosis. So those two things we need to be working on.
Great. Generally, we saw that whenever there is a conference, any special guest or chief guest, they come and join. So after inauguration session, they always left the conference or the session. But yesterday there was a strange image. I have personally seen that after inauguration session, all the vice chancellors sit together. They discussed what's going on. Even Chairman HEC, I really proud on him that how emotionally they attached with the aim. And alhamdulillah, what they resolved yesterday, it shows that how we are very much serious on these issues. And thanks to you to create this awareness in Pakistan. आज जब दुनिया knowledge economy की बात करती है, everyone is talking about knowledge economy. You are talking about social impact, societal impact, and some sort of economic impact. How you can explain this societal or economic impact that is even better or larger than the knowledge economy?
It's very important to understand. Is it health for wealth or wealth for health? Those two things go hand in hand together. There is a saying that healthy minds gives healthy nation. So to me, the societal impact is really crucial. If I'm doing research in a lab, sitting in an air conditioning room with all those facilities, and I look out the window and see the people working in difficult circumstances, gardeners working in 49, 50 degree centigrade temperature, planting the flowers. For what? To make sure the area looks good and we enjoy it. What we are doing for them? Are we doing any research which is going to benefit them? Are we going to do the research which will make them aware the breast cancer is in the area is diagnosed as stage 1 and stage 2 rather than at stage 3 and stage 4? I mentioned yesterday that if it is diagnosed as stage 1 and stage 2, the survival rate is 9 out of 10. And if it is at stage 3 and 4, the survival rate is 2 to 3 out of 10. So if the research is not benefiting the society, why we are spending taxpayers' money on research? We should stop research and give that money to the people who are suffering in this environment, working so hard to please the people who are just sitting in the office and doing work. No, the societal impact is really crucial. And one of the way we can do it, detect early, diagnose early, and we need to develop that technology. And if we do that, that will really benefit the people, the ordinary people, who even don't know what the technology is, who don't know what the research is. Awareness of cancer. We need to have workshops in the area, why it is spreading, what to do if to self-diagnose. Those things, we need to pick it up and create a societal impact. When we talk about the knowledge economy, yes, knowledge economy is good, but knowledge economy is directly related to societal impact. If I said, healthy minds have a healthy nation. If people will be healthy, they will be working. If they are not healthy, they can't work. What will happen? There will be drain on the economy. So we need to keep them working. If we'll keep them working, and one of the best way is to have a technology which is non-invasive, detects early, precisely, accurately, and helps the ordinary people to diagnose those cancers at stage 1, not at stage 3 and 4, and also identify the root cause of AMR, identify the bacteria without the cell culture, those kind of things we need, and also the affordable tests. When I started the IRC in biomedical materials in Lahore, the primary focus was affordable healthcare for all. Exactly. Just to give an example, when we are talking about the bone replacement material, a bone replacement material, a 1 to 2 gram, if we import it, it costs nearly £1,000. And if we produce in Pakistan, it's about $1,000. So if we produce in Pakistan, it is going to be between $50 to $100, even less than that probably. So 10 times less. So there's a huge difference. And we need to make available that material free for the people who can't afford it, even those $50 to $100.
It's very important that affordability of tests should be the main reason for such type of diagnosis. And we resolved yesterday when the representation of all the provinces were there. The vice chancellors from all 4 provinces were there in our conference, and we resolved that we aim that we are going to establish a center to start the world's largest human testing in Pakistan, and may Allah succeed us, inshallah. Because representation of all the universities, all the provinces were there, and Higher Education Commission's chairman were there. So what you suggest that what exactly Higher Education Commission and the universities in Pakistan can do to improve the translational research in Pakistan, rather just to produce research. That's not should be the main aim of a researcher. So what do you suggest?
Before I give suggestion, I think I'm really thankful to, first of all, the Professor Qaiser Abbas, the Vice Chancellor of University of Sargodha, his team, which includes you as well, and how beautifully they organized the conference. And they provided a platform to set up the center in here. And also, I'm really thankful to all the vice chancellors. I know how busy they are and how busy they are in their daily routine operational work at their institutions. And some of them came from Swat and Bahawalpur, and that's a long distance. And they came, and the discussion I have with them officially and sitting them privately, the ownership they promised, and they were so interested to take this idea forward. That was quite heartening. And I'm really confident that their participation will take this center forward. And I was actually looking at if I can get 10 to 15 universities together, that will be a great success. And I was talking to, privately to chairperson of the Higher Education Commission, Dr. Mukhtar Ahmad. And he said, Dr. Sahab, itni 8-10 kyun karte hain? Go for the 50, 10 from each province. And I said, wow, that's amazing. And that is one thing I really admire of Dr. Mukhtar Ahmad. And he always says, yeah, let's do things which are inclusive, and we get involved everybody in there. And that was music to my ears. Wow, if we can get to 50, just imagine if we're going for the detection, what a biggest trial we can create. 50 universities, let's say if they're just doing 1,000 samples a year, which is very easily achievable. We're talking about 50,000 samples. And the database we will create, I can't see anybody doing it globally. So we can create the largest trial, a largest testing of these samples. And again, I'm only working in biofluids. I'm moving away from the traditional tissue biopsies. We need to look at the liquid biopsies, which is urine, saliva, and blood. I'm sure, if you ask a patient, we need to take a tissue biopsy. One thing is very expensive. The other thing is quite painful. But if you ask somebody, well, we need a saliva sample, and we need just a urine sample, and blood sample, yes, it's invasive, but everybody is still happy to give a blood sample.
So it's convenient as well as it's cheap.
It's convenient, cheap, and rapid.
Yeah.
Very rapid. Biopsy results you wait for at least a week, if not more. In here, you get the results in some cases in 2 minutes. And I say, let's save the lives in 5 minutes. And it is possible.
Exactly. Thank you so much. If I can sum up this everything for a common man who cannot understand the English, वो काम करने जा रहे हैं जिसकी पाकिस्तान को ज़रूरत है. आज लाखों ख़वातीन जो हर साल ब्रेस्ट कैंसर का शिकार होती हैं, उनकी वो टेस्टिंग फैसिलिटीज़ जो पाकिस्तान में होनी चाहिए या पाकिस्तान जैसे किसी भी डेवलपिंग कंट्री में होनी चाहिए, वो नहीं है अनफॉर्चुनेटली. यूनिवर्सिटीज़ आर द प्लेटफॉर्म. अगर इनको इस्तेमाल करके यहाँ पे अर्ली डायग्नोसिस स्टार्ट करवाया जाए 2 तरीक़ों से, जैसे डॉक्टर साहब ने फरमाया, सस्ता, आसान और बग़ैर तकलीफ़ के, और रैपिडली किया जाए, तो शायद इससे बड़ा इंकलाब और कोई भी नहीं हो सकता. Professor Dr. Kausar Abbas was the companion when Professor Hassan established IRCBM in Pakistan. He is again the companion when Professor Hassan is establishing IRCOH in University of Sargodha. So a lot of praise for Professor Hassan, a lot of praise for Professor Dr. Kausar Abbas, Vice Chancellor, University of Sargodha. What tears I am just seeing in the eyes of Professor Hassan, same tears I have been seen in the eyes of Professor Kausar Abbas. May Allah bless you, sir. Thank you very much. Nazdeen, thank you very much. Please keep watching UOS Web TV. Assalamu alaikum.